You have arrived at this video at the perfect moment. The title, How to Protect Your Soul in a World That Wants It Asleep, is not a coincidence. It is exactly what is happening in your life right now. You feel it deep inside, a restless yearning, a tension between the soul's desire to awaken and the overwhelming forces of a world that wants to keep it asleep. Rudolf Steiner, the spiritual seer, discovered this profound principle, that the soul's awakening is a sacred struggle against the forces that want to dull your inner light and keep your consciousness in a state of slumber. This experience you are living is universal. Every human being faces this challenge, to protect the soul's vibrant life in a world increasingly dominated by materialism, distraction, and spiritual indifference. You are not alone in feeling this inner conflict. Steiner revealed that the soul's life is caught between two realms: the sensible world, the world of the senses and appearances, and the supersensible world, the realm of spirit and higher consciousness. The world around you, with its noise, busyness, and superficial allurements, is designed to anchor you in the sensible, to keep your soul asleep and unaware of its true cosmic origins and destiny. Have you noticed how easy it is to slip into a state where your soul no longer questions, no longer seeks, no longer feels the fire of spiritual longing? This is the world's subtle attempt to lull you into spiritual sleep, yet within you, the soul's call grows louder. Steiner's spiritual revelation is that this near slumber is not your true nature, but a condition imposed by external influences and unconscious habits. The awakening of the soul is a sacred battle to reclaim its freedom and light. Consider the lives of historical figures who embody this struggle. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, whose deep inner life and connection to spiritual realities defied the rationalism of his age. Hildegard von Bingen, the mystic who maintained her spiritual vision despite worldly pressures. And Steiner himself, who lived through times of war and upheaval, yet persisted in revealing the path to spiritual freedom. Their lives are living testimonies that the soul's flame can survive the storm. Imagine your soul as a precious flame flickering in a storm. The winds of the world try to blow it out, yet the flame's very existence testifies to a deeper truth. The title, How to Protect Your Soul in a World That Wants It Asleep, is the spiritual revelation of that flame's struggle and the promise of its survival. You are living this now, and this video will guide you to understand and embrace this profound spiritual experience. Ask yourself, are you aware of the forces trying to dull your soul's light? Are you feeling the pressure to conform, to numb your inner voice, to stay asleep? These questions are the first step in recognizing the spiritual reality Steiner uncovered. One, that the soul's protection is a necessary and urgent task in your life. This title is not just a statement, it is a call from your higher self, a call from the cosmic forces that want you to awaken. You are standing at a threshold caught between sleep and awakening, and this video is your guide to crossing that threshold with awareness and courage. In this first block, you have begun to see that How to Protect Your Soul in a World That Wants It Asleep describes a universal spiritual experience, the tension every soul faces in a world designed to keep it unconscious. You have validated your own struggle as part of a much larger spiritual reality. This is the first step in your awakening journey, and it is the foundation on which all that follows will build. Now that you recognize the struggle to protect your soul as a universal spiritual experience, you are ready to hear Rudolf Steiner's profound spiritual explanation. Steiner revealed that the soul's vulnerability comes from the weakening of the I, the core of your selfhood, your conscious ego. You are living this truth every day when you feel your inner clarity and strength fading under the pressure of external distractions, emotional turbulence, or the overwhelming flood of meaningless noise. The world wants your soul asleep because a weak I is easy to influence, easy to control, easy to keep unconscious. Steiner's spiritual revelation is that protecting your soul begins with strengthening this I. This is not an abstract or intellectual exercise, but a practical, inner work, a conscious development of your will, your thinking, and your feeling. You must learn to stand firm as the I in the storm of senses and impressions, refusing to be swept away by the currents that want to lull your soul into sleep. You are living this now when you feel the tension between your desire for spiritual clarity and the pull of distraction and confusion. Imagine your soul as a fortress and the I as the gatekeeper. If the gatekeeper is weak or distracted, the invading forces of spiritual sleep enter easily. But if you cultivate your I through disciplined inner exercises, you build strong walls that protect your soul's light. Steiner gave concrete methods for this: concentration exercises to sharpen your mind, will exercises to strengthen your resolve, and emotional training to maintain calm and balance. These are not mere mental tricks, but spiritual revelations, direct ways to keep your soul awake and alert. Have you noticed how easy it is to lose yourself in reactive emotions or endless distractions? Steiner's insight is that by cultivating inner balance and conscious positivity, you create a protective cocoon around your soul. One powerful practice he recommended is visualizing yourself surrounded by a brilliant white light, a spiritual shield that repels negative influences and keeps your soul vibrant and awake. You are living this protective power when you consciously choose to focus on light, truth, and spiritual ideals, rather than sinking into despair or apathy. The world's attempt to keep your soul asleep is relentless, but Steiner's solution is equally powerful: conscious, active protection through spiritual self-development. This is the spiritual revelation that how to protect your soul in a world that wants it asleep unveils. That your soul's awakening depends on your willingness to engage in this inner work every day. Consider again the lives of those who protected their souls in hostile environments. Steiner himself lived through the chaos of World War I and the rise of materialism, yet he persevered by strengthening his I and revealing spiritual truths that still guide us today. Or think of figures like the philosopher Søren Kierkegaard, who wrestled with despair but found strength in conscious selfhood, or the poet Rainer Maria Rilke, whose inner discipline allowed him to access profound spiritual insight. These lives exemplify the spiritual revelation that protecting your soul is a conscious, courageous act. If you want to deepen this path and guard your soul's light in a world that wants it asleep, subscribing to this channel is your next step. Here, you will find guidance, exercises, and insights to strengthen your I and keep your soul awake. Share in the comments how this struggle to protect your soul is manifesting in your life right now. Your experience is part of a collective awakening. At this moment, remember, how to protect your soul in a world that wants it asleep is not just a title, but a spiritual call to action. The solution Steiner offers is within your reach: the strengthening of your I through conscious daily effort. This is your path to spiritual freedom, your way to keep your soul awake amidst the world's attempts to dull it. You are now standing at a crucial point in your spiritual journey. The title, How to Protect Your Soul in a World That Wants It Asleep, is not just a concept. It is the very path you are called to walk. Rudolf Steiner's spiritual revelation here is clear. Awakening your soul is a gradual, conscious process, a steady transformation of your inner life. You are living this now in the moments when you feel pulled between sleep and awakening, between surrender and resistance. The first step in this awakening process is awareness. You must learn to recognize the subtle ways your soul drifts toward sleep. These moments come disguised as distractions, fears, emotional storms, or the temptation to numb yourself with comfort and routine. Steiner taught that the soul often slips into sleep through unconscious habits, and only by becoming aware of these patterns can you begin to resist them. Ask yourself, when do I feel my soul paling, my inner light dimming? What forces around me encourage this sleep? Once you become aware, the next step is to hold your eye firmly in these moments. Steiner's spiritual revelation is that the eye is the anchor of your soul's awakening. You must observe your thoughts and feelings without being swept away, cultivating a steady inner gaze. This is not easy. It requires courage and discipline. But you are living this challenge now in every choice to stay conscious rather than drift into unconsciousness. As you strengthen your eye, you begin to expand your soul's capacity to perceive the supersensible world. This is a vital part of the awakening process. Steiner called this consciousness development, the gradual opening of your soul to spiritual realities beyond the senses. You are living this if you find yourself drawn to deeper meanings, spiritual teachings, or moments of intuitive insight. This expansion is like a seed breaking through hard soil. The world's pressures try to keep you buried, but your soul's inner fire pushes upward toward the light. Understanding karma and your soul's mission is another essential aspect of this awakening. Steiner revealed that the struggle to protect your soul from sleep is part of fulfilling your higher purpose. Each difficulty you face is a karmic test, an opportunity to strengthen your soul's light and align with your destiny. Think of spiritual heroes like Buddha, who faced immense worldly opposition yet protected his awakening, or Joan of Arc, whose soul's fire burned bright despite overwhelming forces. Their lives are living examples of this sacred process. The awakening process also involves learning to discern the spiritual forces at work in your life. Steiner's spiritual revelation is that the world is not only physical, but filled with spiritual beings and influences, some that seek to help your soul awaken, others that want to keep it asleep. You are living this reality when you sense invisible pressures or inspirations guiding your inner state. Developing spiritual perception through meditation and inner exercises helps you navigate this complex landscape. Metaphorically, your awakening is like a lighthouse in a stormy sea. The world's waves crash relentlessly, trying to extinguish your light, but your soul's beacon must shine steadily to guide you and others. Protecting your soul means tending this light carefully, feeding it with conscious awareness, spiritual practice, and connection to higher intuition. In this block, you are guided through the awakening process specific to how to protect your soul in a world that wants it asleep. You have learned that awakening is a gradual, conscious choice to resist sleep, to expand your spiritual perception, and to align with your soul's mission. This is your sacred work, your spiritual battle, and your path to freedom. You have journeyed through the universal experience, Steiner's spiritual explanation, and the awakening process. Now, the full resolution of how to protect your soul in a world that wants it asleep awaits you. Practical integration. This is where the spiritual revelation becomes living reality, where protecting your soul transforms from an abstract idea into your daily way of being. Steiner's profound insight is that protecting your soul is not about escaping the world, but engaging with it from a place of spiritual strength and freedom. You are living this truth when you choose to face life's challenges with clear thinking, calm feeling, and strong willing. The three pillars Steiner identified as essential for spiritual health. These are not just qualities to admire, but faculties to cultivate actively every day. Practical integration begins with conscious daily practices. Meditation, as Steiner taught, is a foundational exercise to calm the mind and strengthen the eye. You might start by focusing your attention on a single object or thought, training your soul to hold steady amidst distractions. This builds the inner fortress that protects your soul's light from the world's attempts to dull it. Next, cultivate emotional balance. Steiner revealed that unchecked emotions can drag the soul into sleep. By observing your feelings without judgment and choosing responses rooted in love and clarity, you create an emotional environment where your soul can thrive awake. This is living the title's promise. Protecting your soul in a world that wants it asleep means mastering your inner emotional landscape. Strengthening your will is equally vital. Steiner emphasized that the soul's freedom depends on the conscious use of willpower. Each time you choose to act with intention rather than react impulsively, you build the spiritual muscles that guard your soul. This conscious willing aligns you with your higher purpose and resists the forces that want to keep you passive and asleep. Remember the metaphor of your soul as a flame. Practical integration means tending this flame daily, shielding it from harsh winds, feeding it with fresh fuel, and allowing it to grow brighter. This is your sacred duty and your spiritual freedom. This channel is dedicated to supporting your spiritual awakening as promised in How to Protect Your Soul in a World That Wants It Asleep. Here, you will find ongoing guidance to help you live this truth fully. Share in the comments how you will apply these insights to protect your soul and keep your inner light awake. Your journey inspires others to awaken as well. Finally, reflect on the cosmic connection Steiner revealed. Your soul's protection is not just a personal task, but part of a larger spiritual mission. By keeping your soul awake, you contribute to the awakening of humanity and the unfolding of higher cosmic purposes. This is the ultimate freedom, to live consciously as a co-creator with spiritual forces, no longer asleep, but fully alive. How to protect your soul in a world that wants it asleep is your call to urgent, necessary spiritual awakening. The world's forces are strong, but your soul's light is stronger. Embrace this truth, integrate these practices, and step boldly into your spiritual freedom.